Hi, I'm Lynn. I'm the founder of Wolf Kitchen, and today I'm here with my fiancé, Paul.
Hi, so I'm the one that produces all the donuts, the cookies, the banana bread, all your sweet savory, and I'm also the Chief Innovation Officer.
So today what we've done is we've collected all the frequently asked questions that normally happen during our meal plans, and we're going to go through with them today with you. And Paul will be asking the questions, and I will be answering because I'm the Keto Queen, and he isn't.
If I was, you wouldn't be marrying me.
That's true.
So, we're gonna play a game with Lynn, test our knowledge, and quiz her on keto.
Well, it's not really a quiz. I mean, like, I have all the questions and answers right here.
It's a fake quiz.
It's an open book exam.
The best one of all. So, should we start?
Yeah. Okay, so the first topic that we'll do is keto. So we've kind of broken it down into different topics like weight loss, carb drain, miscellaneous food and meals, but we'll start with keto, the most basic.
So, let's kick into it, and we'll start with the most important question everyone asks you. What is keto?
So the keto diet is basically a diet that is sugar-free. It's low carb, moderate protein, high fat, and it's basically just meats, veggies, but only non-starchy veggies. So like basically green veggies. Lots of fat, especially fat from like plants like olive oil, avocado oil, and yeah.
Intriguing.
And lots of cauliflower. Cauliflower mash, cauliflower pizza, cauliflower rice, cauliflower.
Too much cauliflower.
I know. It's very hard to eat cauliflower nowadays by itself.
Yeah, people have PTSD. But yeah. So then, what is ketosis that everyone talks about?
So basically, ketosis is when your body goes into a state of burning fat instead of burning sugar for energy. And normally our bodies get energy from sugar or glucose. And when carbohydrates and sugar enter your body, it is known as glucose, and that's normally your usual energy store. So if you drain your body of carbs, or your carbs are low enough in your body will actually go into kind of like a starvation mode, and then it starts producing ketones, and that's when your body is in ketosis. But to stay in ketosis, we must keep and maintain the keto diet, which is the moderate protein, the high fat, and the low carb. The minute you break it or you eat something that's not keto, you're out of ketosis.
Like sugar.
So now we know about ketosis. Tell us, how long does it take to achieve it?
It depends on the person, usually between 2 to 4 days. Our body stores carbs in our liver and muscles. And basically, if we cut carbs out, then our carb tank kind of runs out of these carbs. And then when your tank is empty, that's when your body starts using 2 different sources of energy. One from the food that you eat, which is like all the fat, and well, the keto food. And then the other one is from your body fat. So there's 2 sources of energy, and once it starts burning this fat, it gets turned into ketones, and then the ketones you get used as energy. And when your body is consistently making ketones and using it as energy, that's when you're in a state of ketosis.
Okay, interesting. So tell me, what does it feel like to be in ketosis?
It feels really good actually. So a surefire way to know if you're in ketosis is you suddenly have all this energy. Your brain feels like 70% more clear and productive. You might have some bad breath and bad body odor for a while.
So you have it every day then?
No. And on top of that, basically, you feel less hungry. You're not craving for carbs so much. And I think like the biggest surefire way that you know you're in ketosis without testing, like using a ketone strip, is when you wake up in the morning, like 1 or 2 days after you've started carb draining and the keto diet, and you've dropped between 1 to 2 kilos of water weight. That's normally a surefire way. It's also the best way when you know you've been kicked out of ketosis, because you don't normally gain, 0.5 grams or 1 kilo overnight unless you've done something completely wrong, which is cheat on it. So as long as you stick to the keto meals, you can test with the ketone strips. I don't really highly recommend that you rely on the ketone strips so much, just because it measures the amount of ketones in your body, but that doesn't really mean your ketosis is deep or light or anything.
Yeah, we've never had deep purple.
We've had deep purple, but like that deep purple actually sometimes means it's a sign of dehydration. It doesn't actually mean it's deep ketosis. Like, it's not really a competition if you go light pink or purple. All you need to care about is that it's just not negative. But like I said, like I've never really used the sticks till this day. 2.5 years later, I'm still not really using the sticks because I just look at my body.
You feel it as well inside you.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's just like your body is the best indicator for if you're in ketosis or not. If you've been eating 2 or 3 days of keto meals, you still feel tired, you feel low on energy, you know, you feel so dizzy and you're so angry and moody, and you're not losing any weight, then chances are you're not in ketosis. You don't really need a keto test to tell you that.
Pretty good.
That's all you're gonna say.
So people always talk about the keto flu. So explain, what is it and how do you know if you've got it?
Well, basically, the keto flu is like, it has flu-like symptoms without the fever and the sneezing. So, no, not the fever, it has fever, no sneezing. So basically, you can feel groggy, fever, nausea, headache, diarrhea or constipation, the bad breath, the body odor, moodiness, muscle spasms, heart palpitations. Yeah.
Basically the same as a period.
But periods the same, but with a fever. It's very, this happens only in the transition towards ketosis. Once you enter ketosis, there might be a day or two where you have delayed symptoms, but not so bad. The worst would be when you just start transitioning. But like I've explained this in another video, but I'll say again, the easiest form is either drink bone broth or 1 tablespoon of salt to 1 glass of water. Remember, we have our Himalayan salt, our sea salt, that's the best for you. And limit your caffeine because, well, coffee makes you tired on keto, fat doesn't, so increase your fat intake and limit your caffeine. And you should be fine with the keto flu. And if you're very lucky, you might not experience it at all. What I've seen with some of my clients is that sometimes what they do is they start eating less carbs the days leading up to keto.
You just start like Saturday.
No, like let's say if you start keto on Monday and you start eating, let's say from Thursday, I'm just gonna go a bit lower carb, like not really all the junk food and everything. Then they tend to have an easier keto flu. But if you've binged on like cupcakes and stuff, the night before you want to attempt keto, then from my experience, I've seen people have like much harder keto flu times.
Most people actually do the last day binge.
Yeah, even me, like that time when I
do.
ate an entire pizza before my keto diet.
It was more of a 3-day binge, but
Okay, a 3-day binge. I was on my period. But then, yeah, and you know, like when I went through keto flu for like a week.
yeah. So now to sell the Keto Meal Plan, what are the benefits of doing the Keto Meal Plan and the diet?
Well, I mean, following a ketogenic diet has a lot of benefits. Basically, there's like, you can lose weight quite quick actually, just have to maintain it after. You can regulate your blood sugar, you have increased productivity, increased energy, you're eating more nutritious meals, so like your calories are really going where they need. You start creating habits for controlling your sugar cravings, so you won't be craving so much sugar. You're supporting good health, and actually for a lot of diseases, it works a lot. Like it basically, because of the increased mental focus, it's really good for diseases with neurological tendencies like Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, dementia, epilepsy, stuff like that.
It's good.
and even cancer. You know why? Because the number one primary fuel source for cancer is glucose, sugar. So if you stop the sugar, you stop the spread.
So you cure cancer?
You don't cure cancer. I just say it's a better preventative way or way of preventing cancer, or at least not mitigating it. Mitigating it.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, so the final question for this topic is, do I need to track calories and carbs?
Well, on the keto diet, I think it's more important that you track your carbs because you have your net daily carb grams, right? So for me, it might be 15 grams of carbs a day. Others might be 30 grams of carbs. So to make sure that you don't get kicked out of ketosis, you have to track your carbs. So there are a lot of different apps on the iTunes store and the App Store that you can download that track basically macros and carbs for free. But tracking calories, it really depends what you're doing keto for. So people think that being on the keto diet, you lose weight, and that's not it. Actually, any diet where you eat less than what you burn is when you will lose weight. You can still gain weight on keto. I have a lot of skinny clients who eat to gain weight on keto. So it's all about overeating your calories and what you're burning. If you overeat your calories and you snack too much, you're monitoring your carbs, you're not getting kicked out, you're just eating a lot, then chances are you're either going to maintain or gain weight on keto. If you want to lose weight, you're gonna have to track your calories to make sure you're eating between 1,400 to 1,800 a day from men and women, because our body burns naturally 2,000 to 2,500 calories a day without exercise. So if you want to lose weight, it should be below 2, unless you exercise a lot, but even then.
Actually, regarding counting carbs, Carb Manager, you should mention all of your menus on it. Some past clients.
Oh yeah, that's true. Carb Manager, yeah. Carbmanager.com. You can download this. So far the best app for me. There's a premium version, but that's only if you're really, really into tracking every individual specific thing. And also, some of our clients have already listed most of our meals on it, so it's very easy to log into your daily log. That's true.
I think every meal this year, we got the fish, cordon bleu, yeah, mala. So if you go in there, it's very easy.
Yeah.
Then you don't have to ask questions. So the next topic is weight loss. Question is, how much weight will I lose?
So it really depends on the individual. If you're a larger individual with more body fat, you're going to lose more weight because there's more fat to burn. And if you are smaller or petite and you have less body fat, you're not going to burn too much because there's not much to burn anyway. Also, your hunger levels will be different. So someone who is larger will have a smaller appetite because the body is seeing your body fat as alternate sources of energy, and so it doesn't really need to, request for so much food. Whereas like a petite person or on the skinnier scale, they tend to be more hungry, so they might be snacking a lot even though they have 2 big meals. Typically, the first couple days, you'd lose 1 to 2 kilos of water weight. So carbs, when you're burning carbs, they store water weight. So the stored carbs have water weight in them. And that's why you always have a little bit of bloat. And it doesn't matter how much you go to the gym, you can't get rid of that little part on your belly right there. So fat doesn't hold water weight. So when you get into ketosis, you're flushing all that water weight out. So that's between 1 to 2 kilos. But this will come back the minute you get kicked out of ketosis.
They call it the fat whoosh. Is that what you call it?
No, that's weight plateau.
Oh, is it?
No.
That's a fat whoosh.
Fat whoosh is when your weight is exactly the same for 3 days because your fat cells are filling up with water because you're losing weight too fast, and then suddenly your fat cells release the water. So this is after 2 weeks of keto.
Okay.
It's not the fat whoosh. It's not the fat whoosh. So basically, in the first week, your weight will be like jumping like 0.5 grams to like 1 kilo a day, maybe, if you're lucky. But the problem is that most of this is water weight and it will come back. So week 2 of keto is when your body has no more water weight, and then now we're targeting like the stubborn fat on your face, your neck, your thighs, your belly. So you might see like 0.1 to 0.2 grams cut a day, weight loss a day. And you'll think like, oh, what happened to my weight? It's suddenly slow. No, it's not slow. It's just stubborn fat. 0.1 grams of stubborn fat is very noticeable, but 1 kilo of water weight is not that noticeable. That's why our program is also 2 weeks.
Perfect. So the next one is, do I weigh myself?
Do you weigh yourself? I hope you weigh yourself.
I don't weigh myself.
So someone weighs yourself for you?
Oh, that's just what's in front of me, so I'm reading it.
No. So basically, how do you weigh yourself? is weigh yourself first thing in the morning after your morning pee. The reason for this is because you're flushing out all the pee and poo that you've had over the night, and that's going to be the exact time and moment where you know your true body weight. Throughout the day, your body weight fluctuates and your body water fluctuates because you're also eating and all this. So there's no point weighing at different times. There's no point weighing in the middle of the day after you've eaten, because you've already gained weight from that. So our truest weight should always be after our first morning pee, with no clothes on or just basic underwear, and weigh it at the same time if you can with the same scale. Sometimes you might weigh on one scale and then you go weigh yourself on the gym scale. Scales just have different things. I'm like 2 kilos heavier on another scale. So have consistency with the time, the clothing, and also the scale.
And the surface. I put on a carpet and lost 10 kilos.
Oh yeah, and the surface. Yeah, you want to say about that?
I just did.
Well, yeah, because like, yeah, wherever you put it, if it's angled a bit, also the scale and all that. And just record your weight daily in your tracker or log it into your app or something. And it doesn't matter if you track pounds or kilos, they're both the same. It's just whatever makes you feel comfortable.
No, it's good to keep a daily record, because the next question is, what do I do if I stop losing weight?
So basically, if you hit like a weight plateau, remember that weight loss is not consistent. So weight isn't really what you should be tracking. What you should be tracking are body measurements. So if you're a female, you'll notice that you bloat sometimes when you're in your period, right? So don't try to weigh yourself when you're in your period. We actually gain up to 4 kilos the week leading up to our period. And it's all temporary, so don't worry about that. So if you're gaining weight during your period time or it's close to your period time, don't count that, and trust me, don't even look at the scale, because you'll be really unmotivated. But weight loss is not linear. Weight loss can be like, instead of going down like this, it will be like because you might eat something more on one day and then exercise and build muscle on another day, and muscle weighs more than fat, right? So you can't really be like, oh, my weight went up a little bit, so something must be wrong. Fat burning and fat loss, however, is actually linear. So while your weight is going up and down, up and down, the fat loss is still consistent, even on your period. However, if your weight is the same for like three days in a row, or like 4 days in a row, that's called a fat whoosh, which is what Paul was talking about earlier, which is when your fat cells, they start filling up with water. It's kind of like a body survival tactic, because it's like, why are you suddenly losing so much weight all of a sudden? So it starts filling up with water, hoping that it'll be filled back with fat, but instead, like after a couple of days, it realizes like, you know, it can't hold water anymore, so it just releases the water, and then that's where you see this big jump of maybe like a kilo overnight. So if your weight is exactly the same for a couple of days, that's actually the best, because then you get a good surprise at the end. What?
Yeah, people are very happy when they drop 1 kilo overnight.
But in the meantime, if you want to break this process and then just try and make your weight like try and lose weight and break this plateau, the best is for some people, maybe you're not eating enough food, maybe you're eating too much food, maybe you're not eating enough fat. Fat, usually the more fat you put happens to increase your fat metabolism and your fat burning. So that's normally like my go-tos. Yeah, and just also seeing if you're snacking too much or something. So that's why it's always good to track everything. And that ends with the weight loss topic. So let us know if there is anything that we missed out that you wanna us to discuss another time.
So the next topic, Carb Drain. Some people fear it, some people love it.
If you've seen my other video on Carb Drain, I would suggest you go check it out because that's like really in detail. In this video, we're only gonna have like 2 questions, right?
The highlights.
The highlights.
So highlight 1. Why do I have to start one day before?
Well, basically, it'll take your body a couple of days to get into ketosis. So let's say you're buying a 14-day meal plan from me. I mean, you don't want to spend, if you're paying for 14 days, you kind of want to be in those 14 days. I'm consulting you. You're getting that full, my body's already in keto, you know, and I'm like getting the full experience out of it. If I made you carb drain on the first day out of the 14, then by the time you get over your keto flu, that's 1 week gone already. And then you only have this another week where, you know, there's not so much chances of you burning your stubborn fat, which is what we want. So if I make you prepare the day before the meal plan, or for example, if you're doing it at home and you want to do your keto meal plan and you do it like the day before, you're already closer, much closer to getting into ketosis if you do it right, than going like, okay, I'll start keto today and I'll do it slowly and be in limbo and all this. And also, because carb drain is where we're eating close to 90% fat, it's where it's getting your body in the mindset of like, oh, fat's good, fat equals fuel. And then it's just like, yeah, you just kickstart your habits that you're gonna be continuing throughout the keto journey.
So the second and final question for the carb drain section, what do I eat?
During carb drain, right?
Yes.
So during carb drain, you're gonna make sure to avoid vegetables because they have hidden carbs. I mean, vegetables are good for you, but just not so much during carb drain unless they're really leafy. So you wanna stick to things that are just basically have a fat content. So like smoked salmon, cheese is my most favorite and the easiest for me personally, to get into keto without any problems. You can eat meats and eggs, but you have to make sure there's no ready-made sauces. Lots of oil, so like for example, you'd make like an omelet with cream and butter and cheese, and then you have all your fat and your cream and all this, and this omelet will make you pretty full for most of the day. Also, your water intake will go up, so try to drink at least 4 liters of water. Yeah, and it's just like, yeah, bacon. Also with the cheese, try to make sure it's not carton wrapping, it's like unprocessed, so whatever the supermarket slices and puts in a vacuum bag for you, or with less branding is the best. And also try to avoid cheese that's already been like pre-cut, like shredded cheese, because it tends to have preservatives. It's only 24 hours, so don't worry. Cold cuts and cheese, just without the wine.
You missed out the best one.
Which one?
We supply it as well if you sign up extra.
What?
The carb drain meal.
Oh yeah. On our meal plan, we have the carb drain meals as well. We do like one day where you get like 3 meals, and they're all carb drain meals. So like he makes this like baked chicken with cheese.
Stuffed baked chicken.
Stuffed baked chicken. Do you want to explain your meals, Dan?
It's only one I did. So it's chicken sliced with paprika, stuffed with sometimes spinach, sometimes mushrooms, a lot of cheese. Depending on allergies, people just have it with cheese. But it's very delicious.
So who's allergic to spinach?
I don't know.
Yeah.
We have lots of people allergic to everything.
we do like pesto fish, so we have our pesto sauce from Wolf Kitchen and we just bake the fish in it. Yeah, it's quite easy stuff. Yeah. But I think like if you want to know more about carb drain, there is another video that you should have seen, or you can see with this link. But yeah,
should we move on to the next topic?
The next one? Sure. So this topic is food and meals. First of all, what is MCT oil?
So MCT oil is basically coconut oil stripped of saturated fat. It's actually a different type of fat. It's called medium chain triglycerides, which is why it's called MCT, but it derives from coconut oil. And basically it's digested differently from other fats. First of all, the main benefit is it gets digested really quickly into energy, which is really good, especially when you're living on 75% fat diet. Also, it gets metabolized quickly by the muscles and the brain. So it basically is like, it puts the bullet in bulletproof coffee. Let's say that. So yeah, it's very good for your productivity, and people like it because it is colorless and it's tasteless. So if you put it on your food, you don't really know that you're eating more fat. You can just feel it afterwards. And it's really good for putting in your coffee, especially bulletproof, or your tea. Because let's be honest, who wants to put olive oil in their coffee? It's a little bit disgusting.
It lingers on your lips.
Lingers in your lips, but it doesn't stay in your hips. Oh my god, this question is my favorite one.
The next one. So, the next one is, can I eat, insert food? So I'll insert some food. Some big ones that we get is, can I eat fruit?
Okay, can I eat? Well, basically it's can I eat insert food means like, can I eat this? Can I eat this? Can I eat this? Well, no, you cannot eat fruit, by the way.
So common one is, can I eat fruit? That's no. Can I eat carrot cake? Some people have done that before, accidentally.
No, they ate cheesecake.
Oh, it's cheesecake, that was it.
And then they were like, but it's made of cheese. I said, not really.
Yeah.
They were like, can I drink soda? Basically it's, can I eat blah, 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 blah. Now, if you're on our meal plan, you should be sticking to the meal plan as much as possible. Basically by day 4, there should be no snacking anymore if your body is in ketosis, because...
Apart from the cookies that we do.
Yeah, but they can eat that as a dessert. But if you feel hungry for whatever reason, it might mean that you're not adding enough fat or oil to your food. And so you should try seeing and checking with that first. So you just add like an extra tablespoon or something for a meal. You can snack as well, but I would still stick to like the things that you were eating during Carb Drain. So like cheese, smoked salmon or smoked fish, some protein or cold cuts. You can also snack on like really, really low carb vegetables like cucumber, celery. You can make like some keto dip or something. Our blue cheese dressing, ooh, with celery, ooh, that'll be good. Oh, I'm getting hungry now. But yeah, and if you are good at weighing your food, then you can snack on nuts, because the problem with nuts is they're quite high calorie and they're very easy to eat, but they're really good too. But I think like and also seaweed. Seaweed is also good, but it doesn't fill you up as much. But I would say like apart from the meal plan and those outside snacks, you shouldn't be eating anything else. Like if it wasn't good enough to eat during your carb drain as a snack, highly unlikely that you can eat it during keto as a snack. And if you still, like I said, this is if you really need to snack, but by right, the meals, if you're adding enough fat to it and you're eating the right amount, there should be no reason why you're hungry in the next 6 to 8 hours until your next meal.
It's usually sugar withdrawal.
Yeah, that's only at the beginning, the sugar withdrawal. But also the Carb Manager app that I was telling you about, the www.carbmanager.com, they actually show you keto grade A, keto grade F, which food. So all you have to do is just put the food in, and then it will just show you like, this is not keto, instead of asking me. Also, Google is a really good friend, and Pinterest. But yeah, the most thing we get is, everyone always likes to tell us, right? Like, this is what we tell them. This is keto, this is not keto.
They
And
still
then
ask
they're like,
2 days later.
they're like, oh, but I really like XYZ, but it's not on the keto list. I said, yeah, because it's not keto. I think it goes the same like this one, right?
So next one, same thing, but with drinks. Can I drink this? So most people say, can I drink beer? No. Why?
Well, yeah, most people ask about the different alcohols.
Yeah.
So if we're starting on the alcohol first,
Champagne.
well, the most keto alcohols are the hard liquors. So whiskey, rum, gin, vodka, tequila.
On the rocks.
Yeah, but remember, the lighter your alcohol is, the lighter calorie, the lesser calories. So vodka, gin, and tequila are lighter calories than whiskey and rum. Red wine is okay, dry wine is okay, but it's like 3 grams of carbs per glass. Champagne is okay, it's 2. Still, so actually more keto than, but this alcohol, like, don't add mixers unless it's water. If you do want soda, it's okay, it is keto. Coke Zero is keto as well. However, like I said in my last video, I talked about aspartame and how it actually stops our body from losing weight. Like for alcoholic mixers, you can add soda or Coke Zero other than water. But like I discussed in my last video, aspartame actually prevents weight loss. So that kind of defeats the purpose of, for some, like I said, if you're not doing keto for weight loss, then yeah, sure, drink it. But personally for me, just stick to water, whether as a mixer or as a drink, because it's 0 calories. It's good for you and it hydrates your skin and your body all at the same time. Also tea that's not sweetened with sugar or condensed milk or creamer, or same with coffee. But like I said, limit your caffeine. So tea is actually better than coffee. And my favorite is just water, but it's infusing it with like lemon, mint, and cucumber, so it becomes a detox water too. I think like on the market there are also these stevia drops, flavored stevia drops that you can put in your water. So, but basically it goes back down to water. Anything outside there, you're not allowed fruit juice, not allowed smoothies. And actually, you can make an avocado smoothie with coconut milk. But then you watch calories.
Pretty high in that.
Bulletproof coffee is recommended over black coffee.
Even just Perry water is okay.
Yeah, sparkling water is good. So also when you are looking for, other beverages to drink other than water, you can do like almond milk or coconut milk, but it should be unsweetened. But the problem is, I would just say, like, to be safe with any sugar-free beverage or even food, the best is always just check the label at the back, the nutrition facts, look at the serving, and then see if there's any carbohydrate content. If it's below 1 to 2 grams per serving, then it's okay, you can have that. 0 is the best, 0 grams of carbs. But if it goes towards 3 grams of carbs per serving, that's quite a bit for a drink. So then you would know like how to choose your own thing. And also the same with food. If it's a snack below 3 grams of carbs per serving, go for it. Yeah.
That's what she said.
What's your favorite snack?
My favorite snack is
keto.
the keto cookies.
What is your favorite snack that you don't bake?
On keto? Not really snack. I just drink Perry water. That's my snack.
Yeah, but you steal my seaweed and you steal my cheese.
Only if you're eating it.
No, he makes me cut the block of cheese. I cut it into cubes because I'm OCD, so it's perfect cubes, counted evenly. And then he goes.
I take 20%. Yeah.
20%. Okay.
Well, what's yours is mine. What's mine's yours.
No, what's yours is mine and what's mine is mine. That's the way it goes.
Yeah, that's true. Right, let's move on before we start fighting. This one is actually one of the biggest questions that everyone gets. Is it safe to eat this much fat?
Yes, it's safe because when your body is burning fat as its primary fuel source, basically what you eat is what will be burned. So it doesn't work the same as carbohydrates. Also, I got this other question about fat for two different things actually, but they're both related to health, but I think I should bring it up. One is, does it raise your cholesterol because you're eating so much fat? If you tend to eat fat that comes from plants, apart from coconut oil, like olive, avocado, nut oil, it's gonna raise your HDLs, your good cholesterol. It's gonna lower your LDLs, your bad cholesterol. So it's just about staying away from saturated fat and trans fat. Trans fat is the worst. Sunflower oil, canola oil, all this. That's number one. Number two is I got another question which was quite interesting from my friend, where he said that I can't do the keto diet because I went to the doctor and he said that I have so much fat in my blood. So they like took out his blood and then it was like fatty blood. And I told him that when you eat fat, it doesn't become like fat in your blood. That's because of the stored fat that got converted from overeating carbohydrates. So when you overeat carbohydrates, if you don't burn all that energy, it becomes fat because it's just stored as excess energy, and that's what fat is on your body. But eating fat, especially from natural sources, that doesn't have the same effect actually. So it's quite important that if your body is burning fat, what you need to put in your body, if that's the main primary fuel source, the main metabolism, is more fat. And you also feel that over time, as your body gets used to being in ketosis, we call this fat adapted, you're gonna feel more satiated. You're not gonna be as hungry as much. You'll be able to fast without burning your muscles or being in full adrenaline mode. It's quite a good feeling, and you're just energetic for 6 to 8 hours before you do it again, before you eat again, because fat takes 6 to 8 hours.
You're more productive work-wise.
Well, I mean, yeah, just when fat is just a cleaner fuel source than carbs.
Last one of this section is, why is it only 2 meals a day on this program?
So on our program specifically, it's 2 meals a day because we follow a 16 to 8 intermittent fasting window, which means for 8 hours we eat, for 16 hours we fast. In these 8 hours, if I just told you just now that fat takes 6 to 8 hours to burn before you get hungry or before you need more fat from eating, if you think about it, if you only have an 8-hour window, that would mean the start of the window is when you eat, and the end of the window is when you eat. Because in the middle, you're not really that hungry, but you're still burning your lunch or your breakfast. Some people on intermittent fasting, they do breakfast and early dinner, or lunch and dinner. For me, I actually do really, really early breakfast and very late dinner because of my lifestyle, because I don't get that much sleep due to this one.
Early breakfast is like midnight.
No, that's my dinner. Dinner is like midnight, but then early breakfast has to be before 8 a.m. So it's a 12-hour window. So it really depends on you. Actually, your body will be the one choosing it for you. You can't really say like, oh, society or my job says my lunch time is 12, because your body might not be hungry at 12. So what I found really effective is listening to your body and just listening to your hunger windows and trying to eat within that hunger window time so your metabolism doesn't go down and you catch that high metabolism where the body's like, come on, eat me.
That's like me when I used to drive home.
Tell your story.
5 o'clock on the dot, I was hungry. I couldn't eat till 7 because it took me 2 hours to get home. So she started making little ride-along lunch boxes that I can eat and drive.
Well, I made them like easy
In
to
traffic.
eat in the car dinner boxes.
Yeah.
And then he actually didn't lose any weight in the first week. So he was really angry at me that I was losing weight the first time we were doing keto. And then when I was like, maybe like you're just skipping your eating times.
Yeah, actually I skipped it and ate when I wasn't hungry. But then you fixed it and then I lost weight and you didn't.
What? You mean you lost more weight than me? Well, I'm a woman, we have our period, you know? But anyway, back to the point. Only 2 meals. Also, the reason why it's only 2 meals is because if you eat 3 meals a day, the fact that fat takes so long to burn between those 3 meals, like 6 to 8 hours, you need to eat like 18 hours of the day. You don't sleep only 6 hours, right? So this is something you would do if you're trying to gain weight on keto, or do like weight maintenance if you don't have so much body fat, stuff like that. But fasting is key to losing weight, because after your body has finished burning off all that fat from your 2 meals, then it has time where you're not eating anything to go, let me go and burn the body fat, because they're still fat too. If you keep eating fat too frequently, snacking more than 2 meals, your body never has time to go look at your body fat on your body and go, maybe I should trim a little bit. But yeah, let's move on to the last topic that we will call miscellaneous. So miscellaneous is basically a topic where we don't know where it fits into with the other topics, but
Basically random questions that we get on a regular basis.
Yeah.
So, first question. It's not me personally, but someone saying, I'm constipated, what should I do?
Well, I mean, you can take a laxative.
Is it keto?
Yes. If you're constipated, it's a number of things. It could be that you have delayed keto flu symptoms. But if you're constipated like in week 2 of your keto program or week 3, then it means you're not eating enough veggies. So I really would suggest adding more greens to your meal, so there's more fiber. The problem with the keto diet is sometimes people, especially when you're doing keto on your own, you get too caught up in all the cheese and meat that you forget all about the veggies. But for me personally, most of my keto dishes that I cook for myself, it's majority veggies and very little meat, and barely any dairy. I'm not lactose intolerant, but like dairy can make you constipated. Also, the 1 to 2 cups of salt water, the 1 tablespoon salt to 1 glass of water, that can work every day, but it will have to happen naturally. And then the last one is put lemon in your water, infuse it. Lemon detox water helps to pass it. But it really still comes down, like whether you drink lemon water or do the salt water, those are just quick fixes. The best is still, that's just your body giving you a sign that you need to be eating more fiber, so more veggies.
Keto-friendly veggies.
Keto-friendly veggies.
When on keto, if I have a work or social event, what should I do?
Yeah, this is actually quite a good question. I would say there are 3 ways you can go about it. If there is a keto restaurant or a restaurant that you know of that fits the occasion, that serves keto food, who knows, maybe someone in your group is also on keto, right? You can always suggest that you go there, then that's okay. But being in Myanmar, that's quite rare. But if you're like listening to this from like the US or something, then I think like it's much easier for you. The second is to actually bring your meal box with you. So just bring the meal box that you get from us, or bring your pre-prepped keto meal box. What I like to do is actually, for example, if we're going to a sushi restaurant, and I've been kicked out in sushi restaurants a lot out of
From
ketosis.
keto.
Out of ketosis, not because I've been kicked out of a restaurant.
Not from the soju.
But because like there's just so much hidden carbs in like Japanese, Thai, Indian, and Chinese restaurants. Basically most Asian restaurants. Like so it's like and Korean. So what I try to do is, if I know that I have to eat with them and it's going to be in my eating time and I don't feel hungry to eat before that, I'll actually cook a similar dish. So like I'll cook something that's Japanese inspired, that's keto, then bring it to a restaurant and say, sorry, I have diabetes. Oh, by the way, that's a good trick, by the way. I'll explain more of that later. But yeah, bring your meal box with you so you don't feel left out. Most of the time, my friends are actually pretty jealous of my meal box, because sometimes the food where they eat is pretty crappy and I end up being the one that lucks out. But also the third one, which I fully suggest, is especially if it's going to be a social event where you're going to have to go out for most of the night, or a wedding especially, I would eat the meal box before. So right before you go out, or just kind of adjust your intermittent fasting window a little bit, add more oil, because then you can go out and you can eat. You can just like pick at things that are keto, like nuts or something.
Or cold cuts.
Or cold cuts, I mean, if that is there, but you're not tempted. The last thing you want is to go to a social event, you haven't eaten, you didn't bring your food, there are no keto options.
And it's like a burger in your face.
And you're just sitting there at a 4-hour wedding with no keto options. It's not like a wedding is going to ketofy your food for you, especially in Myanmar when it's just all fried rice and Chinese food, you know, and you can't be like the only asshole out of 800 people going, can you ketofy my food because I forgot my meal box? No, that doesn't work. So if you eat before that, at least you know, like, okay, I might see all this food, I might see my friends, I might drink a little bit of keto alcohol because that's possible at weddings, but at least I'm not going to be tempted. I'm not going to lower my metabolism because I missed my feeding window. And I'm not gonna be cranky too. Before we move on, just wanted to embellish on the diabetes part. So I found out that if you tell a restaurant, I'm on a sugar-free diet, or I'm on keto, or I just don't want sugar, they tend to not to listen to you, because they're in the restaurant, the waiter is the one that gets your order, the chef is the one cooking. Sometimes that conversation never happens between the two. So I found in my experience, it's quite bad, but I found if I say I'm diabetic, I can't eat any sugar, they're like, holy shit, okay, the chef will make sure.
Actually, say if I eat this, it'll kill me.
Well, that's diabetes. So that's why the chef suddenly makes sure like there's no, sugar at all. So we went to a Japanese restaurant and we successfully got like all the sushi with no rice and no sugar.
But the problem
because we
is,
said we were diabetic.
But then 1 month later, you came and ate all the rice, Japanese, like Korean rice.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It works when you're keto.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
if you're gonna do it, don't go back to the same restaurant.
Yeah, don't go back and order kimchi fried rice and like everyone thinks you're gonna die.
Well, anyway, I would say, especially like in Myanmar, in the more rural areas or the tea shops, like they're not gonna know what gluten-free or keto is, right? So, but everyone knows the English word diabetes, so.
They know diabetes and death, so.
Yeah, so they're like, oh, okay, you don't need to explain. We will not do it for you.
So, on keto, one question that a lot of people always ask, can I work out?
You can work out. Actually, keto, you build muscles much faster than if you're not on keto. So it is actually really good. But I would say that if you're just coming off a carb drain, so the carb drain we were explaining, when your body's transitioning to a different metabolic process, it might be better just to go easy and just like do lighter weights and less intensity, because you might be feeling less energy and strength during the first couple days as you're transitioning. But generally the rule is whatever your routine was before the keto program or you starting the keto diet, keep to that routine. So if you were regularly working out 5 days a week or 3 days a week before keto, you can stick to that and you will see more energy as you become more fat adapted. If you have not been working out, and this is like a time where you want to, kind of do the whole transformation and
experience
and make yourself feel healthier and better, the first 2 weeks might not be the best time to also exert more pressure and energy into starting a routine or joining a gym or starting to do exercise if you haven't been doing it before. So what you want is just to keep the routine that you've been doing. If you're gonna go on for keto for like a month, and just continuously after you're fat adapted, that means when you're starting to feel more energy regularly and your body is metabolizing the fat that you eat quite well and consistently, then you can pick up a gym. But I would say only do this when you're already adapted to it. Yeah. Is there anything else? Like, I would just say, you know,
It's good balancing working out because you're shedding fat and gaining muscle.
I mean, but also it's just if you're pairing a new diet and new exercise at the same time, it can be very strenuous. So it's better actually that you just not stress yourself out, relax, rest. You're gonna be burning fat anyway, don't worry. And just think about more small movements, like maybe a walk in the evening or being more active around the house as opposed to an actual workout if you haven't been doing it. If you've been working out vigorously, keep doing it. You know, like the only thing is the diet is changing. The stress of exercise isn't going to stress you out. And remember, stress can make you gain weight.
And if you're already working out heavily, you should also increase the food.
Yes, you should be eating more food and more fat and more protein. So more protein and more fat if you're working out, and less if you're sedentary. Sedentary meaning like you're at an office most of the time or whatever. Yeah. And also be sure to look at some of the creatine options. People who do pre-workouts, it might be better to take a spoon of MCT oil or fat. But if you do protein powder or creatine pre-workouts, try and check the carb content again, same like the food and the beverages, and see if it's actually keto. If you Google like pre-workouts keto, there's actually some brands that are made for keto as well, because you don't want to kick yourself out because the carb content's too high. Yeah, and also for protein powder.
Nicely put.
Thank you.
So, last but not least, the final question of this
Is it the
thing.
final question
For now.
for this video?
So, do I need to take any vitamins?
Vitamins or vitamins?
Well, I'm from Britain, so there's vitamins.
I thought you're from Scotland.
Same shit.
Anyway, you do not need to take any vitamins, but I mean, just in general, you should always be taking a daily multivitamin, as we say it, because it's just better for you to make sure you have all your minerals and nutrients, you know, that you're getting anyway. So it doesn't hurt to take a multivitamin. What you need to be careful about if you're taking supplements, or like, such as like a lot of people take collagen or what's the one you take, the Baraka? What do you call that?
Baraka. It's vitamin C tablets.
So just make sure that there's no artificial coloring, there's no added sugars. Like for example, cough syrup, it's better to take a vitamin for cough syrup. Oh my god, now you're making me say vitamin. A vitamin for cough syrup, or like a pill rather than the cough syrup itself, because it's quite heavily sugared and artificial flavoring. So there are some vitamins like Baraka where you put like the fizzy drink thing and get your vitamin C. There are some where it says like, okay, it has artificial flavoring, but the carb content is 0. And then there are others where it's like, okay, carb content is like 3. Okay, so yeah, then don't take that one, just switch to a different brand. But you should be having vitamins.
You should also talk about the omega-3 capsules.
Oh yes, so
Yeah.
I was just about to say that before you interrupted me.
Well, I just wanted to remind you.
So the last thing it discusses, some people, when they suddenly start eating a lot of fat, all of a sudden, they experience some breakouts like acne and everything. So what I've found that helps is taking the cod liver pills. So it's like omega-3, so you can get it from like cod liver or like salmon omega-3 pills. The pills work better than the actual fish sometimes because it's just a supplement. Just take one a day in the morning with your normal vitamins and stuff, and you can do the keto diet without breaking out. Yeah. And it also helps for a lot of other things like skin, hair, nails, you know. It's just good to take it in general. But a lot of my clients start taking it religiously after keto, and they've told me that they've done keto diets before in other countries, or they've done by themselves and they had all these breakouts, so they stopped. Then they realized when they did my keto program, we have a high focus not on meat but on veggies, and there's just different supplements to other things. Collagen is actually keto, but if you take flavored collagen, like there's like this famous brand, I don't want to say it, they have like orange flavored collagen. Why you would flavor collagen as orange, I don't know. But that orange flavor makes the carb count to 7 grams for one time, which is too much if you're doing a 15-gram daily carb intake. So just be aware of like taking the plain. There's a lot of chewing gum and mint as well that has xylitol, which is a natural plant, same like stevia. There are a lot of chewing gum that has like no added sugars or preservatives. So it's just about choosing and changing your brands, but that doesn't mean that you can't stop everything entirely. But yeah, I am done. Is there anything that you want to say about like?
Well, you pretty much covered everything, so not really.
Yeah.
I think we can maybe wrap it up.
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
So, thanks for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it. I know I did, always.
Oh, I'm talked out.
Yeah, thankfully. So yeah, like, comment, let us know your feedback. If you want anything else, just message her, comment, and we can do another one. Thank you.
Maybe the next one should be I ask you the questions.
We can do that.
Okay, he's confident enough. But yes, let us know what you think.
Yeah, questions and beers.
Questions and beers. Well,
Oh no, wait, it's keto. Question and whiskey.
thank you for watching until the end if you have. I think he's gonna sleep well tonight because I'm all talked out, so I can't talk to him until he falls asleep. But yeah. Thank you guys, and let's keep enjoying keto, and bye.